Welcome to Wild Rides with Steve's Restorations and Hot Rods. I'm Steve Hale.
And I'm Joe Lomanto.
And this is the story of my friend Joe's Wild Ride. All of us are living our own wild ride, while at the same time sharing this wild ride we call life together. Over the last few years, our country and our world has been in turmoil, and it has never been more evident that we need less social media influencers and more real-life role models. Through building and restoring some of the most incredible vehicles to roll on this planet, I've been blessed to become friends with some of the most inspirational, successful, and wonderful people to live on this planet. In this episode, you'll hear the story of a man who has been a real-life role model to me and everyone he encounters. We're also going to show you his wild ride that is this 1940 GMC Holmes dual boom wrecker, one of 200 of the coolest tow trucks ever built. So without further ado, enjoy the show. All right, everyone, it's my honor to introduce you to my great friend, Mr. Joe Lomanto.
How are you, Steve?
I'm great. Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure being here with you.
Well, it's a pleasure and an honor always being with you. Thank you very much. You want to sit down with me and talk for a few, and then we'll show everybody the truck?
All right.
All right. How old are you now?
91.
91?
Ooh,
Good.
yeah.
You must have some incredible memories of all the different things you've done over the years, huh?
Oh, I can write a book.
Probably incredible for you to see how much the world's changed, huh, Joe?
Everybody with a horse and wagon, getting the hay with a horse and wagon. We had horse.
Yeah.
We had a wagon too, but they had loaders, and we didn't have pitched up hay on the wagon by hand. I got the fork in my leg once. My brother, Christ. Her apple orchard on each side. We used to trim the trees, one orchard at a time.
Yep.
The next year do the other orchard, then the other, then go back to the other orchard again.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a job. Corn, peas, everything. Cucumbers, squash. My father was a worker.
Really?
He worked. My mother and father worked too.
Really?
And,
What nationality is your dad?
Italian, from Italy. He come over from Italy.
Yeah.
And then 3-4 years later, my mother come over. He sent for my mother. I grew up on a farm there, and
Yeah. You were probably pretty tough, huh?
I was, but it used to be.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Did you used to arm wrestle when you were younger?
No.
You guys ever do that?
I wrestled the bushels of tomatoes.
Yeah. You're just working every day.
Tomatoes like this, and like this, a nice big 50 cents a bushel.
So why'd you start getting in the towing business, Joe? Because you wanted to be done with farming?
No. Jimmy had the body work in the garage there, and my father was getting rid of the truck.
Right.
An old Model A truck. And my brother says, "You're going to use that truck, Dad?" He said, "No." He said, "Can I use it?" And my brother said he wanted to have it there. Got a crane, mainly crane. He mounted it right on the frame. No fenders, no body, no nothing. To crank it by hand.
Yeah.
It had a chain with it. He used to get $3 a tow job. Once in a while, people used to call us who knew we had a truck.
Yeah.
Then it got more, and then more. Then my brother bought a garage in Kirkland. I worked for him nights and worked on the farm days. And worked like that for a while, and then he had a better truck. We fixed up another truck. He got better to put the crane on that truck. And still, I worked there nights and the farm days, and the government wanted me, so I had to go to the Korean War.
Were you drafted for it?
I was drafted. Fort Dix treated over there, and then afterwards, I had to stay another extra week. Our company did, for shooting purposes, heavy equipment, that's what it was. And then I went to get on the ship in New Jersey, I went down to past Florida, went to South America, Panama Canal, 2 days there, Hawaii, 2 days, and then Yokohama, Japan. Then across, we started over to Korea.
How long was the boat ride? From when you started in New Jersey to by the time you got to Japan, how long you were on the boat?
33 days.
That's a long time.
I got a detail. 15 guys got a detail. Making ice cream at night. That ship was so big that I'd never seen anything that big.
How many people were on it?
Well, 4,000 or more. USS General Butler, I'll never forget it. And we made ice cream, and if we wanted to eat, the guys got out in the morning. We worked all night and we were supposed to sleep, but we got in line to eat breakfast. Had to get in line again right away and get for supper. That's how long the line was around that ship. And the only time we had a storm was at the end.
Was it bad?
The waves are about 10 times bigger than this out in that ocean. That ship come out of the water. And we're talking about big, long ship. And when it come down, you'd think it came down on a state road and shake the whole ship. Oh, was I scared.
Were people throwing up and everything else sick?
Oh, on the way back, we all threw it up. Because it was a smaller ship, it was rocking and everything. Everybody was sick. Nobody's eating. They had garbage pails all over the place.
So when you got to Japan, how long were you in Japan for? Not long at all.
4 days, then they shipped us right to Korea. Then we got shipped up Front Lions. It was a picnic. Go up the mountain. 30 below zero. When it was zero, we thought it was a heat wave. A lot of guys froze. A lot of guys. The government never said they froze. They said they got killed. And the guy 2 holes away from me froze his hands and his feet. Turned purple.
How'd you stay warm?
I jumped up and down, back my hands day and night. I was so tired I fell down. And I got back up and kept doing that.
So you didn't sleep much when you were
No. We slept with everything on, a sleeping bag. It still froze.
Did you have like a tent or something set up? Or?
Oh, we had a hole in the dirt in the mountain behind it. Trenches. And a hole in the by our machine gun. How 3 guys in that hole.
3 of you guys were there?
Changing off. And then in the summertime, we got a break. We were in the summertime. We were in a valley, and it was warm. And I was right by a hole where there was a creek, a big wide creek, like smaller than the Barge Canal. And this side, it ended. And it was like here to that wall down there. 50 yards more. Joe, he says, we got to make a trench. I said, yeah, how? Right there. I said, solid rock. It was solid rock. He says, I got a case of dynamite here for you. Use that up, and then I'll give you another case. I forgot how many cases of dynamite. Pack it down, put rocks on, boom, 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 and keep breaking and breaking. We had the trench this deep, all the way across, and through the rocks on that side to the enemy side.
When you look back on things you did in your life, Joe, is that something you were proud of doing, going to Korea?
Oh yeah, I mean, we all had a goal. We had to do our duty, and I'm not sorry, but I know it was a hard job doing it.
Thank you for doing all that for us, Joe. I really appreciate it. I mean, it's
proud I did it. Everybody, we all had to do it. All the guys had to do it.
Right. When you got back home, did everybody back home appreciate what you'd done?
Oh yeah, they did. All the boys that come back home, they did. And every time somebody dropped something, I'd jump 10 feet. I was so scared.
Right.
I got over it after a while, you know.
How'd you get over it, Joe? Just having a purpose in life? Your towing business?
To get in life, towing business, and I got towing with my brother again. Day and night I used to work towing. And then when I got back, I decided there's a man that Clinton wanted to sell it to the garage. And he talked to me about it, and then I talked to him. I heard he wanted to sell it, and he said, yeah, Joe. I didn't have any money, but he took the mortgage. He said, I'll hold the mortgage for you. He did. I paid him every month.
That was in the 50s then?
Yeah, 60,
Yeah.
66.
Really?
Yeah, in 66. I went there and worked and fixed up a tow truck and built one and worked, and
Yeah.
then I kept working day and night towing, and I always said, geez, I wish I had business like all these other guys. Treated the people right and was honest with them, and they called me. I went and bought another used truck, fixed it, and another used truck, and fixed it. I kept building myself. Right now I go to 6 states, eastern states I go in right now.
You must be really proud now, looking at your business. Probably, how many tow jobs do you think you've done altogether?
Oh, I couldn't count them.
Thousands and thousands, right?
I did a lot of them. We did them a day in the cars and trucks. And
Yeah.
I have 40 miles of throughway
Yeah.
from Herkimer on the other side of Verona.
How long have you been doing the throughway towing now?
20 years.
Really?
Yeah. Well, 15, 20 years ago,
Yeah.
an airplane got stuck at the airport, Atlantic County Airport.
Yeah.
They called all over, no way to touch it, and troopers told them, call Joe, he'll get it.
Yeah.
And then the guy told me, come up and see us, we need more equipment up here. You've got everything there, no? I went up there, the man come over, and my man come over, he said, what do you think? What? Pull that plane out. I said, what, are you crazy? So I went, and then the engineers and the owner told me, talked to me where to hook onto it and everything. And they talked me into it, and it took me 13 hours.
Yeah.
13 below zero it was.
Wow. How heavy was it?
156 ton. That was one of the biggest airlines then. They made that back then. That was the biggest one.
How'd you tow it, Joe?
I had 2 big wreckers,
Yeah.
one on each wheel, and 2 dump trucks. Murphy's brothers helped me.
Yeah.
I used them for anchors, and the inside was brand new.
Yeah.
It only had 48 hours on it.
Yeah.
And the mechanic still came with it.
Really?
We shoveled the snow out from the wheels, and the center wheel passed to the center wheel.
Yeah.
And the mechanic stood under it and talked to the guy up there, the cockpit, so we know what to keep the engines running. He had one engine running way in the back, up on top. And you know, he's standing up, and you couldn't touch the bottom of that plane. That's how big it was.
Huge, right?
The wheels are this big in front. Huge, humongous.
I remember coming in your office when I was just starting out in business and seeing that picture on the wall. Asking about it.
And I had a guy make me a picture of it, blow it up.
Yeah.
And they put it in the paper, and you know, it's just another job.
How many trucks do you have now, Joe?
I about 2, 3, 6 I got altogether.
Yeah.
And I only had a hand crank in the beginning.
Yeah. That was your brother started off with the one that he put on the back of the car, right?
No, truck.
Yeah.
Just a cabin frame it was.
That's how most people towed back then, right? They just made tow trucks.
Back of a car, maybe a Packard or something, or a LaSalle or something. Put a crane in the back of the car there, cut half of the car out.
Right.
That's all they did. They were cars, them days. Then it got better and better and better. Everybody gets better. Everybody's good. There's a lot of good towers out there. A lot of good towers. They're all good people.
Now Laura runs the show, right?
Yeah, Laura, my daughter runs the show right now. And they're running it, and I just go check on things.
Right. That's pretty cool, huh?
And I have beautiful trucks and everything, and they're all ready to go at any time.
Yeah.
Day or night.
Yeah.
And nice to have 2 girls in the show at one time.
Yeah.
With the sickness going around, the disease going around, everything come almost to a stop. I was real scared, and I go to the bank, and they'd carry me for 3 or 4 months. They said, I picked up. I picked right up.
Yeah. It's got to feel pretty good for you to see Laura running the business with you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She chews me out every now and then.
Yeah, you probably need it, right?
Yeah.
She probably thinks you do. when I look at all the different people in my life, Joe, you know, there's a lot of people I try to model my life after, you know, and you're one of the most honorable and good men I know. So I'm very fortunate to have you in my life. I feel blessed and honored to be able to hang out with you and call you up and talk to you, and that we got to do your truck with you. You know what I mean? That's some of the best times in my life.
God, you did a beautiful job to this truck, let me tell you. Nobody can ever do it any better, I tell you.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
It was this big project.
When I brought it to the show in Lake George, everybody's looking at it.
Yeah.
Everybody. I got the prizes for three different prizes on it. Trophies.
That was, when I saw that picture of you at Lake George with the trophies, I was pretty happy about that.
They had it in the paper and everything. They come out good. I was happy, you know. I didn't think I was going to get anything, but I just brought it because I was so proud of it. The boys told people come over and looked at it too. There are a lot of nice people up there.
I think, you know, there's parts of your life that, to me, it was the wild ride that you lived and the way you lived your life. It really inspires me, you know, because there's things that you did, like the way you treat your family is so honorable, you know, and the way that you've stood up and you fought for our freedoms, and you know, you went to war for our country and for America and for all of our futures, you know, so we could live free lives, and your work ethic and the way you treated your employees and your customers, and you know, you've done a lot of things in your life that are very honorable.
I had to do my part. That's all I could say. I had to do my part. Everybody else, he got drafted and things. A lot of people, they all did their job. And it was nice. I had you do my truck, and I was so proud of you doing that. I couldn't get over it, and people couldn't get over it too.
It's pretty awesome seeing it in parades too, isn't it?
Oh, people looked at it when the Utica Parade, New Hartford Parade.
Yep.
There's a lot of nice people. So look at that truck.
Oh yeah, this one and all your other trucks too.
Yeah. I enjoyed doing the towing. I enjoyed doing my work.
Yep.
And enjoyed meeting people.
If you had to give people a message, Joe, like the younger generation who's just starting out, he wants to be in business and wants to, you know, be a good man and live a good life, what kind of advice would you give the younger generation to be?
Be honest, number one, and treat the people right, and do what you have to do, even if you don't want to do it. Because there's a lot of things you don't like, you have to do it, and it's tough to be good. You got to be good to take care of people.
Say you're going to do something, you got to do it.
You promise something to somebody, you got to do it, and you know. And you always have to help somebody out when they can't do nothing. Always help somebody else, even if you don't like it.
Well, I think that's one of my favorite things about being in business. You know, I mean, we get to create all these incredible vehicles and build these masterpieces. You know, it's awesome. But to me, I'm so blessed to be able to make friends like you and be able to, you know, meet the clients and the people that I get to meet, Joe. So it's always an honor when I get to be in your presence and hang out with you. So.
You're the best around here, and I talk to people about the things you have down here. I was telling about the pickup trucks, the cars you do. Oh my gosh, you should go see him. What a job he does down there. He's a master at it.
I feel like I still got a long way to go to.
Do what you're doing now, and you're doing a good job. And don't do anything wrong.
When I first started out in business, I didn't have an address. And then I was going to get in trouble for doing body work. And then you helped me, my first DBA, my first business license was with your address. Remember that? That was back in 2006.
Well, if somebody ever said anything to me, I just tell them that's part of my business.
So this truck came from Nichols Garage, right?
Yeah. He's retired, and his son-in-law was running the business, and he died. I couldn't buy it. So I talked to the son-in-law about it. I said, no, I ain't gonna sell it.
Yeah.
And he turned around and sold it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And I looked for that truck for 35 years. I happened to go get a part in a junkyard in Utica, North Utica. And I'm walking around and look at the part, I look at this truck, all the weeds and trees around it and everything, and it's rusty. I said, that's Nichols Garage truck.
Yeah.
I went over, it was.
Yeah.
So I went to see the guy, I said, hey, I want to buy that tow truck. He said, what do you want that thing for?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to play with it, work on it a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead. I bought it from him, got the flatbed and brought it home, up the garage over and set it aside.
Yep.
Set it there for a week. And my brother says, is it run? I said, I don't know. They said, let's try it.
Yeah.
We put a set of spark plugs in it, put a battery in it, got a can of gas and hook it to fuel pump. Turned over 6 times and it started the motor.
Yeah.
It only had 14,000 miles on it. We let it go, then I decided we were going to start working on it and start tinkering with it. First thing you know, I had it stripped down to the frame, painted all, put new oil lines in it and brake cylinders, brand new tubes and tires, everything. Started working on it and painted the frame all up, it was part of the cab. Then I was looking for parts. Then I couldn't work on it, and then I did. And I said, I know some character I know will do it. Steve will do it for me. I went to talk to you about it and see if you would do it for me. So I load the tractor trailer load, all apart, everything. Even the crane was all apart.
Yeah.
I didn't know where to find the parts or what. So I give it to him. I give him the headache. And then afterwards, he started working on it. And I would go down there and see it every now and then, look, checked it.
Yeah.
He was doing a beautiful job. He did a beautiful job at it. He worked at it. And how long would you have? A year, 2?
About a year and a half, I think it took us to do it all in all. You know,
He did a beautiful, beautiful job, let me tell you.
Thanks, Joe. I was honored to do it for you. It was a giant puzzle, putting the truck together.
It was worse than a puzzle.
I know.
Oh, every part on there, it belongs on the truck when it came. The fog lights, everything.
Yeah.
Mirrors, everything. The only two things is a single light there.
Right.
And the tail light, that's the only thing that you.
Yeah.
Oh, Holmes had made 200 of those trucks.
With the wooden floor.
Wooden floor in the back.
Yep.
And I got one of them.
Yeah.
And then they made steel floors.
Yep. I know you see the steel floor ones, and you don't see many of the wood floor ones because they weren't.
I don't know if there's any around anymore.
When we were building the floor, we couldn't find any pictures or anything. We had to do a lot of homework to get that floor figured out.
That floor come out beautiful too. So did the toolbox inside.
Yeah, that was quite the project. We routed all the pieces for all the tools to sit inside the box.
I was wondering how the heck you would do that.
I was too. I was wondering how we were going to do it too.
Come out beautiful.
Yeah.
It come out beautiful, the whole thing.
I think we should show everybody your truck and then take it for a ride and have some fun. What do you think?
Yeah, good idea.
All right. Maybe we could find a car to tow along the way.
Yeah,
Make some money.
yes.
What do we charge? $3 a tow?
That's what I used to get.
All right.
$3 a tow.
All right. Now that you know the story of the wild ride of Mr. Joe Lomanto's life, we're going to show you his 1940 GMC tow truck and what it took to transform it into the wild ride you see sitting here today. So let's check it out. These were the original headlights that were on it, Joe?
Yes, original headlights, the molding on the side, mirror, it was all GMC.
We had Sandy's bumper mark chromed a lot of that for us, right?
Yes,
You did a lot of the
they did a
re-chroming?
beautiful job.
Yeah. And then the side badges, these were hard to find. Remember when we were looking for those?
Finally found it.
And then Howie did all the black, he hand painted all the black inside of the chrome. And then hand lettered the whole truck. Was this your original phone number?
Yes,
Really?
all the phone numbers like that, like that. Now they changed them all.
What were the letters, the UL? That was like the area code?
Yes, yeah. That was the area code that they were doing that.
So all of these tools, these were the original tools that came with the truck. Like all these levers here. This here is how you operate
The outside.
the outside, right? And then this will run the cables out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In and out, this is what turns the PTO, what engages the PTO, right?
Yeah.
So say you had a car out in the field and you had to tow it, you drop the jack leg right here, you drop the legs down.
Stabilize it.
And then you could,
I can raise the boom up or down.
right. You'd run the cable out to the field, you'd engage the PTO and it would pull the cable back in, right?
Yeah. Run the levers. You cut the cables out there and get over here and run the levers over here. Just as easy as that, yeah. One was the gas, give it the gas, the throttle.
That's your throttle, right?
Yeah, and then after the levers for this winch and the lever for the other winch. And this used to pull down.
Well, this will still all work now, right?
Yeah. Pull down and everything.
We did it. We put a whole new cable system in for the throttle and everything. That was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And Marty fabricated this whole back piece here for us. We made the inner wheel wells and
This is all
yep.
rotted out.
Yeah.
Imagine these things, they didn't get broke or nothing sitting in the junkyard.
Yeah, these polished up really nice. I'm pretty sure we had the stanchion parts of them re-chromed too. I think Sandy's did that for us too.
Every little piece, every little bolt you did a beautiful job.
Let's check out the engine, huh, Joe?
Okay.
This is the original 228 cubic inch engine, right, Joe? Six cylinder?
Six cylinder, beautiful motor. Chevy made a beautiful motor in them days.
Our buddy Charlie Height did all the machine work and built the engine for us. That was quite the project, rebuilding the engine.
But 14,000 miles, didn't need it run like a charm.
It ran good, but it was incredible when we pulled it apart how rusted it was inside.
All brand new tires, everything.
Yep, brand new everything. Let's close it up and go for a ride.
All right.
All right. Now you know the story of my friend, Mr. Joe Lomanto's life. And you've seen what it took to bring his 1940 GMC tow truck back to its glory. I hope his story has helped you to realize that our freedoms have been fought for, and therefore it is our responsibility to defend them and to exercise them, so that our future generations will have an even better and more free tomorrow than we have today. If you want to learn more about the Wild series and help us to grow the show, please check out stevesrestorations.com and grab some WildRide gear while you're on there so you can show the whole world that you're living your wild ride with the pedal to the metal. I hope you guys love the show. We'll see you on the next one. Now get out there and live your wild ride. Later.